Welcome to the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel, powered by InsideTexas.com. I'm Joe Cook. We got Coach Dub today, and we have some breaking news as well. Fort Worth North Crowley linebacker Jonathan Cunningham out of the 2025 class has committed to the Longhorns. He chose Texas over TCU and Utah. And Coach, it's always good to get a guy over TCU, the in-state school. You also trust their evaluations. You also trust Kyle Whittingham and his evaluations as well. And I feel like Texas got a very savvy, very versatile defensive player today in Cunningham to add to their 2025 class.
Yeah, what stands out about Jonathan to me, man, he might have a smaller frame, but that guy's physical and he's tough. He really, really brings it. I know he's getting recruited as a DB by multiple schools, so it kind of speaks to his athleticism. You can have a guy you can maybe move out to the slot to cover, tight ends or running backs or somebody down the seam. But also, he's not afraid to mix it up, man, and go in and really lay the wood. Brings all 200 pounds of himself right into a tackle or taking on a pulling offensive lineman. So, North Crowley kids are tough kids. They give it. They're all kind of like blue collar type kids. And if Utah, who's built on toughness, wants him, wanted him, then that speaks volumes about what kind of kid he is.
You look at his film and you see him doing several different things, but at Texas, his role seems like it'll be very specified. If you've watched Maurice Blackwell in recent years, yeah, he gets some offseason reps at one of the inside linebacker positions. But when push comes to shove, he's playing that Sam position, strong side linebacker in that base defense, that base 3-4. And you don't need a ton of guys on your roster for that, considering how often Texas is a nickel. But you need somebody, and Cunningham seems like a great fit for that role for the Longhorns, as you're about to see in this clip. Like, boom, that's him playing Sam right
Yeah.
there, blasting off the edge and making a tackle for loss. Seems like Texas found a great replacement for Maurice Blackwell in that role at that Sam position.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. You can just kind of see North Crowley use him all over the field. Kind of start out wide. He kind of squeezes down, comes off the edge. He takes on linemen. He's wrapping up, making solid tackles, might I add. But he's just an overall great athletic player. Like you said, kind of replaced that Mo Blackwell type of mold of a player. We can kind of play in space, and he doesn't have to come off the field first, second, or third down. You can kind of keep him out there if a team wants to play base or 12 personnel and go heavy. He can stay out there and still be able to cover at the exact same time. So you see him just tracking a ball carrier down, man. He's physical. He's bringing him down with everything he has.
He right now he kind of sits just under 200 pounds. Does he have the frame to expand to inside linebacker? Should that
Uh,
be asked of him in the coming years? Does he have the skill set to do the same as well?
I think so. If you being next to him a couple times, seeing him in person, getting a chance to talk to him, when you look at this, he has a long, long frame that you can definitely add some bulk. You can bulk him up a little bit, maybe 220, 225. You never know how big a kid will get, but he has the frame to do so. I mean, he's very long. He has so much room to grow and be a 225 to maybe 230-pound linebacker by the time it's said and done at the college level, which is the new size of most linebackers now anyway. And I think he definitely has the size to do so.
When you think about Texas and North Crowley, obviously they pursued Samaje Burrell. They brought him onto campus. Various circumstances put him into the portal and has him uh, outside of the Texas program right now. But Texas still is in good shape. Obviously, they just landed Cunningham. North Crowley is a program that is supported and has a lot of talent. Do you see this having any sort of downstream effects with someone like John Turntine, who's one of the top ten prospects in the country in the 2026 class?
Yeah, it can only help, right? I know Cunningham and Turntine are good friends. They kind of battle it out every day in practice when they're going up against each other. So, uh, maybe it has some positive vibes that way where they continue to battle it out in practice on the 40. You never know, but I do know the guys at North Crowley are like a close family. I mean, they're really, really tight, and they love having an opportunity to kind of play with each other at the next level.
Before we go any further, got to give some love to our sponsor, and that is Gabe Winslow. Gabe Winslow of mortgagesbygabe.com. If you are looking for a home in the state of Texas, make sure to give Gabe a call at 832-557-1095. I know I've joked before, He can get you help if you're looking for a townhome, a condo, a house, or even something like a ranch. Has access to over 70 lenders to help you get the best mortgage that you're looking for. So call Mortgages by Gabe, mortgagesbygabe.com. Gabe Winslow, longtime friend of UT, longtime friend of Inside Texas, a Texas grad, and someone who will help you. Call him at 832-557-1095. Coach, when thinking about the Texas linebackers class as it is right now, the Longhorns have a commitment from Bo Barnes. They have a commitment now from Jonathan Cunningham. They missed on Riley Pettijohn, but now you have someone who fits that Sam position, like we talked about.
Mhm.
You have someone in Barnes who fits that Mike position. What is Texas looking for now with guys like maybe Madden Ferrimo, or maybe they stay in on Pettijohn? What are they looking for as far as filling out the rest of the linebacker class, especially after they only took one in Ty Anthony Smith in the 2024 class?
Yeah, you look at Bo Barnes, who's traditional middle linebacker. He's going to come down and fill the A gap, B gap, and take on blockers. And nobody ever has a fullback anymore. But the tight end wing who they're running duo ISO. That's what Bo Barnes is going to do. He's going to take on guys head on. I would say the second linebacker, man, outside of Cunningham, will almost fit the similar role. You might find a guy that's a tweener, a physical guy who can come downhill on ISOs and take on blockers, but also quick enough and athletic enough to kind of play in space like Anthony Hill did last year. You can still rush off the edge. And then with Cunningham, he's more of a guy you want to put in space, but he's big enough and physical enough as a linebacker to play in the box, but he also can help you defend the pass. So I think the next linebacker they look for basically be a guy who's kind of like a tweener, weak side guy who has speed and athleticism, but also big enough to take on blockers as well.
I know Texas fans for a long time have always, and especially the fans that follow recruiting, and you, I'm sure, someone who is in that part of the country, whenever you see Utah offer a kid, it's like, there's something there to that. And even with TCU, maybe a little bit differently these days under new defensive coordinator. But still, even Andy Avalos had an understanding of what good defense looks like. And I know you have hands-on experience with that. So in addition to, Johnny Nansen, Pete Kwiatkowski, those two making the evaluation, what do you make of guys like, Kyle Whittingham at Utah, and Morgan Scalley at Utah, Andy Avalos, and the company at TCU pursuing someone like Cunningham to be in their class, and Texas still making the win, getting the win to put him in their 2024 recruiting or 2025 recruiting class?
I think it just speaks volumes what kind of player he is. I mean, Utah, Morgan Scalley, Whittingham, Avalos, like they recruit guys who end up developing and being 3-4 year starters and then moving on to the next level. They have tough nose, hard physical type guys that they recruit. And you see them every year compete in and out each year, like with the top teams, and it doesn't seem like they're outmatched at all. And so you trust those guys' evaluations. They rarely miss on a type of guy that can kind of fit in their system. So a guy like that coming to Texas lets you know that Texas is getting a great kid who can play on the field, and that you're going to get it's a great eval all the way, physically and mentally.
One last thing, when it comes to Cunningham, I know when he was talking with you and with talking with Inside Texas, he always would mention how much Johnny Nansen almost taught him something on basically every call that they had. So, how important was Johnny Nansen in this recruitment? I know it's the position coach, but how important and how much work did Johnny Nansen have to do to win over Cunningham when recruiting against guys like Scally, like Avalos, like Whittingham?
Yeah, I think the relationship kind of grew over time between Cunningham and Coach Nansen. But yeah, he did mention every time he talked to him, he's always trying to teach him something new. And Jonathan loved that because he wants to be coached, he wants to be developed. And every time he talked to Coach Nansen, he was like, "Hey, this is what you can do better, in your game to get even better." And Cunningham ate that up because he wants to be the best he can be playing football. And Coach Nansen always had some advice for him, right? How he can get better. He wasn't just showing him all love and telling him how great he was. He always was trying to help him improve as a player. And Cunningham really, really appreciates that because he's a ball player who wants to be good. He wants to be able to play, be great at the next level, and he wants a coach who can develop him. And Coach Nansen was able to do that just by telling him a few things here and there, and he was able to apply it during this past spring season for North Crowley.
Another great pickup for the Longhorns, and another addition to the 2025 class. If you're not already a part of Inside Texas, make sure you're an addition to Inside Texas. Head to InsideTexas.com, use the promo code IT1, get yourself 2 months of access for just $1. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, help us get to 8,000 subscribers. And if you are on podcast, please give us a 5-star rating and review. Coach, thank you. Thank you to Gabe Winslow, our sponsor. We'll see you next time on the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel, powered by InsideTexas.com.